Today we'll be looking at the story of Richard. He's an ordinary American college student studying at Carnegie Mellon. When Richard goes shopping for items such as food, clothes, or filling up his subway card, he often uses his Visa debit card. This semester, Richard hopped on a plane to Singapore for his study abroad semester at SMU. At Singapore, wherever Richard goes, such as hawker centers, convenience stores, or filling up his MRT card, many of these places do not actually accept Visa cards. These places are cash only. Coming from the US where Richard barely uses cash, Richard was quickly annoyed from the constant trips to the ATM. This got him thinking, what happened to Visa in Southeast Asia, especially Singapore? This past summer, Richard interned with Visa, so he knew the strengths of Visa made it the market leader of the payment industry. Regardless, Richard realized for Visa to expand in Southeast Asia, Visa would need to use the market leader strategy of expanding the markets, which in this case is credit or debit cards. Before we get started discussing our recommendations, let's discuss a few key facts about Visa. For example, the question of what is Visa? The most important thing to know is it's not a bank. What Visa is a middleman service between your bank and merchants and anyone else in the Visa network. So the question is, how do they make profits? Well, let's take Richard again. Imagine that Richard goes to a supermarket and to buy his weekly groceries and he spends around $100. Of course, Richard doesn't bring his cash, so he uses his Visa debit card to pay for this. Looking at that $100, the supermarket would take 98% of it, or $98. His bank would take 1.7% of it, or $1.70. And Visa would take 0.3% of it, which is just 30 cents. This 30 cents might not seem like a lot, but you have to remember, Visa is a global company that works in almost every country in the world. They process around 2,000 transactions per second. So as you can imagine, the numbers add up. Next, let's look at a market analysis of Visa. From the BCG approach, Visa in the Western countries like the US and Europe are the cash cows, and the Asian market is a question mark, which we want to be a star. Looking at Visa's competitor analysis, outside of Visa, Visa is no doubt the market leader, facilitating over 60% of the transactions worldwide. In addition, they are one of the most trusted companies when it comes to mobile payments. It may be surprising, but Visa's greatest competitor isn't actually MasterCard. Visa's greatest competition is cash. Moving on, let's look at some of Visa's advertisements from around the world.
Would you pick Visa versus, let's say, MasterCard?
I think for one thing, Visa has Visa PayWave.
Yeah.
So I think I would. That's one reason why I would choose Visa over MasterCard.
Okay.
I think more banks offer Visa.
So you just pick the bank.
Sometimes I do want MasterCard, but some banks they don't collaborate with Master.
Okay.
So I guess it's a regret.
So is there anything that would make you use it more?
I think if there are more places that accept cashless payments, I think it would be
Okay.
Yeah, I guess only when I don't have enough cash I will use card. I won't voluntarily use card.
And what would make you more likely to voluntarily use it?
It's discount. If I go to Kofu, then they pay by Visa, they give me discount. I wouldn't mind pay Kofu by Visa as well.